So Tim is with Palitto Consulting Services, and he'd like to present to you what Palitto can bring to the table. Again, I know a lot of you are already familiar with them, but anytime we have any custom integrations or anything, these are our go-to folks. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and hand over presentation to Tim. Just a moment.
Awesome. Thank you, Aaron. Really excited to be talking with each of you today and be able to share a little bit of how things have changed on, inside the world and inside of what Palitto Consulting can provide as well. So one of the things that a lot of Mitel partners run into is when you're out in the field and you're selling against a lot of competitive equipment, is having the opportunity to be able to say, well, I'm not quite sure if I know someone or if the system is able to do that. And that's where this line came from, sell at the speed of yes, is Palitto Consulting and our team here is here to help you answer that question and help you get beyond that specific sales barrier. So if you haven't worked with us in the past, a little bit about us. So we've been in business roughly 24 years. We have a full stack development team that's been working with Mitel for a long time. We started back in the 2002 era, way back in the ShoreTel days, and have been working ever since. We're now a Mitel MSA, or a commercial level alliance partner with Mitel, and are working on not just the MiVoice Connect, but many of the other Mitel solutions. Some things that folks may not know about us is we are obviously a consulting company, and we help lots of Mitel partners and Mitel customers in the business process automation space, as well as designing solutions in the solution architecture space and technology road mapping. And so these are areas that a lot of customers are out there are saying, I'm really not sure what kind of CRM should I be looking for? How should I build my contact center if when I upgrade, I want the ability to do this? Or how could I best transfer data between these two systems? These are services that we can provide to your clients and to you, and in a safe way, because we are a Mitel partner and not coming in and are going to bring in other competitive solutions. So as we kind of think through that, looking at where we've been from a global experience perspective, we've implemented in a lot of different countries, yet we're a very small US-based professional team with a lot of experience on the UC side, on the business process side, and working with customers from 50 to some of the largest deployments that Mitel has out in the field. So one of the things I wanted to just share with you a little bit today is what's new, right? A lot of you have known Palitto Consulting for a long time, but there's some things that are really new inside of our team. One thing is we've really looked internally and tried to streamline how we work with you folks, being faster in how we respond, being more efficient in how we're going through the sales process, and being a little more flexible in how payment options can be provided. So a lot of you know us from the fixed price type of approach, but we also have leasing options now, as well as some of our offerings actually have a strategic SaaS or a monthly charge that some clients really like. And internally, we've added a lot of team members. So we have some enterprise solution architects, which we've added to the team, some business consultants we've added, and then we have some new partnerships that we've pulled in teams for folks that want really high-end graphics or maybe Mac OS development type of things on that side. So it's a new team that has a lot of experience. We've been through things in the past and are happy to carry that into the future. And so we think about that when we're talking with clients, right? And we say, how do you really need help? And a lot of times, we're in the age of the API where a lot of people can do their own development, but they're not sure what is possible. So we sit down with a lot of clients and help them understand the art of the possible. What is possible with integration? If I'm going to do a dialer, how could it work? If I would architect that, how can I provide the best resiliency? Or maybe I just want someone to help prototype this because I have a really big business move that I'm going to make, and I want to make sure that this is going to work right. Or you may want to take it from soup to nuts, right? I want to take this project from idea to production, and we can help you in any of these areas. That's really something that's very different. In the past, a lot of our clients have kind of came to us and said, we want you to build this project. But there's a lot of other areas that we can help out clients who may be doing internal development, maybe working with an outside consultants, or looking to just see what's possible. So we kind of look at that, and say, many of you may recognize this ShoreTel logo on a lot of the applications that we have existing integrations with. And you say, well, how could we kind of go through this? We can say turnkey, like we mentioned. Maybe you want to teach or guide your clients on how they can accomplish their own integrations, right? So we teach customers how to be able to take the API stack of their CRM, or maybe we can teach them how to use some of the Mitel standard applications that you can get from professional services. Or maybe we'll even just take the Mitel APIs and package them up and give them to the customer in a very easy way that they can implement that. And those are some new ways that we're working with clients to be able to make integrations a little bit easier. It's not just Palitto has to go and do the entire project. We may teach them, we may just say, hey, here's the 3 APIs you need in a very combined package that make it very simple for you to integrate in your ERP. So these are a couple new options that you can present to your clients or internally to your team. One of the things that's also new is we've really spent a lot of time and went through and worked with a number of companies and developed some strategic partnerships and went a lot deeper in our integrations. So there's a number of folks here where we've spent significant time with a corporate venture to be able to come in and say, hey, how can we really provide a very deep integration for these folks? And so we'll be talking about this in the presentation today. So the first area I'd like to jump into is in the staffing area, right? We're kind of in a very unique area with COVID right now. A lot of folks that maybe are facing a high unemployment area, but we're seeing some of these staffing firms that are starting to staff up and saying, we need to be more efficient in how we're using our communications platforms and our software platforms to be able to better communicate with applicants on this side. And so eRecruit and Bullhorn have joined forces, and we have partnered up with them to provide really nice integration. So some of the ways that this integration can be realized is with embedded call control directly inside of eRecruit or Bullhorn, giving you click to dial right from the candidate records. As soon as you're clicking to dial, it's automatically popping up the workflows and streamlining the logging of calls right inside the systems. If you have candidates who are calling you back, you got inbound calls that are triggering that new workflow, right? We're all familiar with Screen Pop, but this is giving you the ability to automatically log the phone calls. It's giving you the ability to handle multiple interactions at the same time without losing the work that you might have in another tab. And then lastly is logging all this activity into a dashboarding database so that you can build metrics around each of your specific recruiters. And you can say, hey, how are you doing on your specific outbound dialing campaign? How are we going to be able to track that? So we've worked really hard with the eRecruit and Bullhorn teams, and you can go out to our website at maximizingerecruit.com and watch just a demo of how we're doing that, grab some collateral, review a webinar, the white papers, and see just how we can help your clients with any eRecruit or Bullhorn integration. Another popular CRM that we work with is Zoho Desk or Zoho CRM, and this is one of our strategic SaaS offerings, right? We can support either one and have native CTI integration, both with inbound, outbound calling, screen popping, activity logging, and even down to the activity metadata to allow the Zoho metrics to be in place. And this is all SaaS-based, so you don't need any infrastructure and fully cloud hosted on that side. So it's been a nice new offering that we've had as we're working with some of our smaller clients who are looking to get some, I'm going to say some really deep, really efficient integrations inside the Zoho space with the Mitel MiVoice Connect. Shifting gears a little bit, right? So we have Zoho, we have eRecruit. Everyone is hearing about artificial intelligence and what does that mean to me, right? How do I integrate these things? Well, we've been working with a lot of Mitel MiVoice Connect clients to integrate a lot of these AI engines into their system, right? Where they're allowing the AI engines to do some of the work, but still using the core MiVoice Connect platform to be able to handle the communications. So whether you're working with IBM Watson or Amazon Lex, Astute, Smart Action, Com100, Atondo, there's a lot of platforms out here that we've been working with clients to help integrate into the Mitel platform. So why do you do that, right? So, AI sounds really neat. Well, you need virtual agents to maybe handle your clients when they're your off hours or during peak hours. COVID has really stressed out call centers as they're dealing with specific issues. And how can you staff appropriately to be able to handle that influx of call volume? Maybe you want to expand that out to not just doing calls, but also chat or SMS. How do you enable that? How do you tackle easy tasks? Right? These AI engines and these AI integrations have given clients the ability to be able to accomplish that. So, an example of that is a use case that we did for a client where folks were continually calling in for order status requests. And they always want to know where's their shipment, what's going on. What we did was we enabled an AI bot using some technology that gave them voice recognition technology where they could go interact with the bot in a very conversational type of approach. They're asking, here's my order number. My order number is ABC123. They're able to go all the way through the interaction with voice. We could enable that with chat or SMS as well. And in the end, we update a Salesforce record, email out the update to that specific client, and log the entire call, all without having to use an agent. And it's been a great efficiency gain for the client. And so these are the types of things as you're working with your clients and you're thinking through, what is my roadmap? Where do I want to go? Have these conversations with your clients where you're helping them dream and helping them think about the art of the possible, right? And I spend a lot of time with partners and with clients helping them get to that place where they can say, how can I get the most out of my MiVoice Connect system? One area that we spend a lot of time with is, the old ShoreTel had a great capability of meeting the needs of the credit unions, right? And so as you head into a credit union, we have some tremendous integrations, whether that's with the Jack Henry Scimitar platform, if they're using Episys or Synapsys or Simone, or whether they're on the Silver Lake platform. We've helped a lot of clients integrate these platforms into the MiVoice Connect contact center and MiVoice Connect platform as a whole. And also, just knowing as we talk through all of this, we have a lot of experience in the MyCC platform as well. So, all of these things we can talk through from a number of the Mitel platforms. Not only just Jack Henry, I can't say the names, but there's some other market leading cores that we've done some really deep integrations for these clients with, helping them with self-service IVRs, omni-channel integrations, chat integrations, and various other forms. So what the clients are able to experience is when calls are coming in, we can screen pop to any one of their systems of record. Was it a collections call, a call about a mortgage, call about a general queue? What was that call about? We can figure that out based on how they came into the contact center platform and be able to pull up the right system of records so that the credit union agent has the ability to be able to really quickly and very seamlessly to be able to serve their specific member. Some other things that are really nice when you're talking with the credit unions, they usually get really excited when I say, boy, wouldn't you like to personalize your music on hold? Tell them about services they don't have with you, right? Don't tell them all about the car loan. Go look inside the core and figure out that they don't have a mortgage with you. They don't have a savings account with you. Maximize that time on hold with your clients by being able to market to them while they're on hold. Other things we do often for these folks is saving their agents time by providing answers to some frequently asked questions, right? Maybe it's the last three checking deposits, or maybe the bank routing number, whatever it may be, right? We work with each of the credit unions to be able to say, hey, how can we provide additional value while folks are on hold to be able to allow them to use their time more efficiently? Other areas are routing calls based on core status, right? Wouldn't it be great instead of saying, oh, that member was in collections? What if you knew when that call routed in and you got them right over to the collections group? Or it's one of your highest net worth clients that are calling in. Change how you're handling them, right? Really take that member experience and shape it based on information that you already have. And lastly, fraud prevention, right? I mean, there's a lot of things that are going on right now. And what we've done is we've provided a couple different levels of fraud warning options for clients where we can go and be able to, I call it like a forensic screen pop, which I have up here, which gives you the last 4 times the caller called in and saying, what was the date and time they called in? Who did they speak with? How do they authenticate? And now this gives agents the ability to be able to say, they're calling in on a commercial account, but they called in on the consumer line. Maybe I need to be a little bit more careful. Or if clients have a more robust need, we have the ability to help them integrate early warning systems or trusted or pin drop or other things into the MiVoice Connect platform to be able to help them meet their fraud or their security needs. So this is a lot of information. And as Aaron suggested, we'll be sending these slide decks out, and I'd be happy to spend time with any of you to be able to go through this in more detail. But I'd like to hop over and talk about some of our popular applications, right? Some of the things that a lot of partners know us for, maybe those who haven't reached out to us in the past may not know some of these things. So one of the things that we have a lot of clients calling us for is an after call survey option. So PCS has an after call survey option. You don't necessarily need a contact center, right? We do some UC level integration that allows callers to opt in and out. We can randomly survey them. We have the ability to support multiple languages, even all the way down to the agent level of being able to allow them to upsell because the agent can see they didn't want to take a survey, right? So lots of options for your contact centers or just those that are using the unified communication platform. These are things that seem small, but as you talk with your clients, they're begging for a lot of this functionality. One of the really neat features here, this last bullet here, is what if you're like me and you forget to take the survey, right? Well, we have the ability to say, you know what, that caller didn't take the survey. We'll call them back and offer them the survey. So multiple ways of trying to connect with the caller and be able to provide that in. So all this is of no use if you don't have reporting, right? So we have an after call survey reporting system that we've built that allows you to tie that whole story together. Who called in, into what queue, what number did they call on, how did they answer the questions, even giving them the ability to be able to have a survey voicemail at the end to allow you to have a full circle response from your customers to be able to say, how is my system reporting? And this has been something that's been very popular with clients and would love to chat with you more about that. I guess I didn't hit the last item here. One of the things that a lot of the clients like is if there's a low scoring survey, we can alert your staff, right? Get right on it, call them back before these folks get out to social media. So this gives you a tool to go talk with your clients and give them yet another tool set to be able to improve their customer experience. This is a fun one. Universal dialer, right? So we designed this a number of years back. There's a lot of technologies out there that give you the ability to dial, right? We have web dialers, we have app dialers, but what if those don't work? Can I have another trick up my sleeve, right? This is an optical character recognition technology. So you hover over a phone number and it highlights, like you can see in the slide here, and you click it in an outbound dials. And you say, why in the world would I need that? Well, we have a lot of clients that work across remote desktops, right? How do you get a web dialer to be able to work on a thick client across a remote desktop? How do you get a one-click capability inside of a thick client? Or folks that are working through images or ads, right? This is a neat dialer technology that gives you the ability to solve potentially some of the corner cases that a web dialer or an app dialer doesn't give you the ability to work with. Maybe some of you still are selling a lot of unified communications to folks who have work groups, and they really want the ability to say, I want to change my caller ID. Can I do that right through the Connect client? Tell them, yeah, we can do that right through the Connect client. We have a toolbar button that you click on. It pops up a little app, no client-side installer, and they get to pick from a configured set of outbound caller IDs and be able to now change the caller ID right from within the Connect client. So really popular tool for those that are, maybe you're doing collecting on behalf of another client, maybe you're doing marketing in another area, maybe you have multiple brands. whatever that may be, this is a great fit for folks that are trying to present a different persona as they're doing outbound dialing. For folks that are in the work group space, one of the greatest requests is, can my agents log in and out of work groups by themselves, right? How do I do that? Can I pick which work groups I'm in? I need to cover for Betty. We're the only ones that can speak Spanish. How do you do that? We have a little app that gets installed in the Connect client that gives you the ability to pick which work groups you want to get logged into or logged out of. And you can pick which of your agents get it or don't. But this is just another tool that you can use to be able to present to your clients to be able to say, hey, here's how we can help you maximize Mitel even more. Let's say you're dealing with a car dealership, right? Car dealerships, notoriously, everyone's out either on the floor, or they're out on the lot, and they don't hear their phone ringing. Well, what if we could extend the ability for what we'll call like an off hours receptionist, right? They're calling in and we can tell them, hey, you have a part call on extension 123 for sales, right? And it can now announce across the PA systems, or it's in a manufacturing facility, right? And now you got someone at the back door and no one can hear the phone ringing because the guy's away from his desk. How do you do that, right? So this is a nice little application that gives you the ability to say, hey, let's watch these specific extensions. When there's calls that are here, let's park them, and then we'll announce them over the PA system so that a backup person has the ability to do that. Right, so this is great. Lots of information, Tim. How do we engage with you guys, right? And there's a lot of apps outside of this, but there's a couple different ways that we work with our clients. Some folks say, you know what, I don't have the time. Tim, can you work directly with my clients? So we work on a direct referral basis. We have some of our partners that we do a referral with commission, right? So we can sign up for a commission agreement, and as you folks are sending over leads or other things, as they come to fruition, we can provide a commission back to you. A lot of folks like the partner directed path, right? Where we work directly with you, we go on your paper and we work with you to implement that. Other times, the client may not even know that we exist, right? We can take that white label tech approach where we can develop the technology, deliver it to the partner. They don't even have to know that we exist on that side. So these are just a couple different ways that we can work with you on this side. I'd love to have a conversation with each of you. And how do you get a hold of us? MaximizingMitel.com is a great way, right? We have a Get Started Today area where you can fill out a lead form. That plumbs right inside our sales systems, and we'll get back with you very, very quickly. Other options, you can hit us at our phone number, or connect with us via email. This is our team here, Beth, myself, Tim, and Joel would love to give you a hand with whatever need you may have. So Aaron, back to you. Questions from the team?
Excellent. Thank you so much, Tim. I really appreciate that. I'm going to go through just a handful of questions that have come up so far. So first off, this is somebody had asked, is Palitto Consulting relevant to MiVoice Connect and not only the Mitel Heritage solution? And so I think really it's kind of the other way around. I mean, you guys are historically more on the MiVoice Connect side and have moved into the Heritage Mitel MiVoice business. Is that correct?
Yeah, we can work on across all the Mitel platforms.
Right.
So we can work on the MiVoice Connect, the old ShoreTel, the MiVoice Business, the MyCC. So we have projects in and out of nearly all of the Mitel platforms. Some of the older, I'm going to just call them Mitel Blue platforms, we don't do quite as much with because the APIs aren't quite as robust. But I'm going to say largely any of the current Mitel offerings or any of the ShoreTel offerings, we absolutely can help you with.
Great. So for some of those, for the commonly used applications like the workgroup management or the parking page, are those apps that where do those go? Do those require a PCS server in order to function, or where do those usually reside?
Awesome question. So a couple different options. So either we can set up a DVS server or an app server and install them on there. But many times, a lot of these applications are very lightweight and can get installed on the HQ server. So depending on what's needed. Some of them don't need any server component at all, and they're all client side. Um, but dependent, they can either be on an application server, a DVS, or at times, if they're lightweight, they can go onto either the contact center server or the HQ server. We've had excellent success with that.
So in a nutshell, they're Windows applications that run on one of the Windows servers, and we can have multiple of your applications running on one of those servers. There's no restriction of
Absolutely. That's
one
correct. Yeah,
server.
we have clients that are running 5, 6, 7 of them. We always, as more are added, we'll want to work with you to make sure that sufficient resources are on the system. And as the companies grow, we work with them to ensure that they're going to get good performance out of that.
Great. So another question then related to that dialer application, and maybe you might want to move your screen back up to that, the one where it does a screen scrape. So,
Absolutely.
the last session we talked about, we had kind of a deep dive a little bit into the Microsoft Teams, and that's always on everybody's mind is how do we integrate to Teams? And of course, Microsoft has made that difficult to do a lot of the integrations and stuff, but this looks like something here that may be particularly applicable to it. So would you be able to address the use case of the Microsoft Teams thick application in conjunction with this?
Sure. So if it's a really interesting use case. So if you would hover over a phone number in Teams, I could have my team try that. It would likely highlight the phone number and click and dial out of the Mitel platform. When you're talking more native, our team is certainly working on that and seeing what kind of deeper options we have for a native Teams integration. But if we're just talking click to dial, let's say out of a directory or something else, there certainly would be some capabilities for that.
Okay, that's absolutely something I know. Again, that's been a pain point for a lot of people is the Teams integration. And while we have the web dialers that work for MS Teams when you're using it in the web client, let's face it, a lot of people are using the thick app. So this would be an absolutely another tool in the toolbox for dealing with those Teams integrations for people who've really decided Teams is what they want for their UC client, but they absolutely want to maintain their Mitel telephony piece of this. So we'll take that offline. Actually, Tim, you and I maybe we'll talk about that.
Sounds great.
Excited to always have new options for Teams integration.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's one of the things that we really love doing is solving business problems for clients. And so, this is just a sampling of some of the things that we've done. We've probably have 50 or 100 other apps that are out there. I really appreciate the time today and wanted to share what I'll call an appetizer with each of you and encourage you, reach out. Our Maximizing Mitel site has lots of other ideas. Reach out via the lead form, and we'd love to connect with you.